A man has to make one final deal, which can help him go straight from his life of as a crime kingpin, but something stands in the way. And today we talk about that. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Around the Weird, a booktube channel where I talk about all the unusual and out of the ordinary literature, but sometimes month to month I talk about movies as well. And today I am joined once again by Lucas from Strike the Sun MD or something like that. And I am joined by Verity, who does not have a YouTube channel yet, but might one day. How are you two doing today?
Great.
Great.
Even better after the movie.
You changed the lighting just now, and it makes you two look phenomenal. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the movie that we're talking about today is The Long Good Friday, a movie that I had heard from someone on Blue Sky, who a journalist that I like. So I figured, it couldn't hurt to give it a chance. It had good reviews. This movie came out in 1980. Is directed by John Mackenzie, who frequently directed crime or spy thriller type movies. Written by Barry Keefe, didn't really have a lot to his name. And it's starring Bob Hoskins, who many people out there might know from Mario, as well as other movies like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which is very popular.
I was wondering why I know him.
Yeah. And the movie Dog with Jet Li, where he plays a similar sort of crime kingpin, which is really good. And not a lot of people watch that, but it's a pretty good movie. Also, it has Helen Mirren, a very young Helen Mirren, and Dave King, among many other people, although I don't know so many of those actors. It also has the first appearance of Pierce Brosnan, who you might recognize from either Mamma Mia or the James Bond movies, among many other things. It's very interesting to see the debut of Pierce Brosnan with his smoldering gaze, looking very like sexy and whatnot, and he doesn't have a lot of speaking lines, or he doesn't have any speaking lines in this movie, but he's here. So pretty interesting sort of movie here that we'll talk about more. But what are your initial thoughts, Lucas and Verity?
How do you feel about the movie?
It's very hard to understand the movie's backgrounds, history about this movie.
Yeah, I think that was hard for her because she's not very familiar with the IRA, right?
Yes.
And the relationship with the IRA and the British government. Even though you don't really see the British government outside of the councilmen. But I had to explain what is the relationship with the Irish guys, and the handsome young Pierce Brosnan, and why is he just like doing blue steel at Bob Hoskins?
Yeah.
Other than that, other than the confusing parts, how did you feel? Like about the acting or how it was shot or the crime?
Why they have the 这个黑帮 again during this time? It seems very dangerous by why they work as this.
Sure.
And political, the economic, the history, the movies, the background. It must be like best a real history, but I didn't know. But I don't know too much things about this movie's story, the history. But this movie is very nice. When I watched it, it was very nice. The actors was very, very good. Yeah.
I felt, number one, Bob Hoskins is a good looking guy, but like he's not like a stud in the sense of like he's not like a Tom Cruise or for a British example, he's who plays criminals. Like he's not a Tom Hardy, who is a much more handsome guy.
Mhm.
But I feel like we need to bring back more actors who are just a guy.
Yeah, like Bob Hoskins looks like a regular looking dude that you might encounter in your everyday life.
Yeah. He's still a good looking guy, but he's not, I mean, he's not like a A-list or whatever kind of like super handsome dude, but he's a good looking guy. And I completely and totally believe him as this criminal overlord. Even just in like little mannerisms and his oi, like his inflections and how he speaks, like just the way when he's ordering people around and he doesn't even have to speak, he just moves his fingers and I don't know, like it's like he knew when to bring the menace and the malice and when to. I can't really say that he has human compassion exactly, but there is this kind of complexity in him where he like, okay, I shouldn't do that, or I need to do something to make this go away. I'm thinking of when he's in the graveyard with Mrs. Benson. It felt like maybe there was some compassion, but it also, to me, it felt like that, but also it felt like, okay, fine, you'll get the money. Let's just like, please stop crying. Get over it. You gotta get over it. I don't know. There was like a multifacetedness to his performance, and I was very immersed in like I'm in 1980s London right now, or London 1980 right now. And I found the drama of his investment or his attempt at an investment in this land by the River Thames, I think, to profit when the 1988 London Olympics were supposed to come. And yeah, I thought it was really intelligent, very well written. I had been confused by the beginning until it finally came back at the end and things were explained. And then I don't know, I felt like a wrinkle in my brain, like, wait a second. This is much deeper and much more yeah, like it's tackling a lot more issues than just like crime. There's the element with the IRA, right? And this political aspect that I thought was pretty interesting for me.
Yeah, there's also another element that I'll talk about later, and I'll probably have to explain to Verity, but we'll get there when we get there. But we can get into the movie. So basically, the beginning starts with money changing hands. It's sort of like a montage. We see money changing hands. We also see two men having a casual relationship, casual hookup. And then there are some gunmen, and one of the men dies. They're buried in a ditch. We don't really figure out like who that is until a little bit later in the movie. There's a funeral for them, and then we see Harold, our main character played by Hoskins, getting off a plane, returning from America for a deal that he's trying to make. And Harold asks his right hand man, I believe it's Jeff, what's been going on, and Jeff's like, oh, everything is fine, even though things probably were not fine. And we find out that Harold is a gangster. He's a crime kingpin. And the central focus of this movie is he's about to make a big deal, a big business deal that'll allow him to go straight. He's been rising through the criminal underworld, living on the bad side of the law. But this is like he's going to make a deal with the mafia, which will allow him to, kind of make a lot of money off the Olympics, as you said. and things seem to be going well, but we find out that that's probably not the case.
Yeah. I think I felt this whole setup at the beginning. I was trying to piece together like who are these people and what is their relationship, and also why is this guy hooking up with another guy? Only because I felt like, oh, that's quite taboo, and it seems like this is a crime film or like a gangster film, and I don't know. At least in the American mafia, that's even more taboo. So that kind of thing caught me off guard. Um, but as you said, things are in a risk when everybody's starting to come in. All the Americans are starting to come in, and Harold is double checking, making sure everybody gets on the boat and everyone's in the right place. And who is it that's not supposed to drink? I forget. The councilman, I think. Yeah, he has Jeff, his like right hand man kind of guy, like make sure whatever the councilman's name is, you top him off with Perrier or something like that instead of alcohol. And then he gets a little message that like even though he's trying to work with the mafia, they don't want to work with the people coming to invest don't want to work with gang leaders because it's too risky, which is just like very interesting in its own way. I suppose when it becomes an international thing, then it's even riskier somehow. Yeah. What else happens at the beginning?
So there's the deaths that take place.
The bombing of the car.
But first they find a bomb that hasn't exploded. And Harold is like, just make sure nobody knows about this. Cover it up the best way that you can. And just say, oh, it was an accident or something like that. Because he doesn't want the mafia to find out, the investors to find out. And then when they drive to the restaurant, there's a bombing, and he tries to play it off by saying, oh, it was like a cooking accident, like it just exploded, a bad wiring or something like that.
Right. Oh no, they say it's the gas, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. And then the guy who had taken some money gets stabbed in the spa, the hot pool sauna, seemingly by the charmingly handsome Pierce Brosnan, who just stares him down and lures him into a room.
Now, I will say something. So when they're on the boat, Harold gives a speech where he says, this is the decade that the UK will be a leader. He's trying to say that the UK is going places economically. What's really funny about this, and again, there's another bit of history that Verity might not know about, the 80s were actually a time of austerity measures being put into place, because who became prime minister in the 1980s? Margaret Thatcher. Yeah, so for those who don't know, including Verity, Margaret Thatcher was the prime minister in the 1980s. She was very much like Ronald Reagan in America, in that she was very conservative, she hated poor people, in essence. And so she tried to dismantle the National Institute of Health for their health insurance over there. And she also just instituted a number of policies that really wrecked rural areas. And she ended up getting recalled and voted out. And she's kind of viewed as a disgrace amongst serious adults in the United Kingdom and worldwide. So for Harold to say, "Oh, this will be the the decade for the UK," that ended up not being really the case. Maybe it's too much to say that John Mackenzie kind of foresaw all this coming, but It's just a fascinating element and a little bit of history that kind of guides our understanding years later of this movie.
I had been thinking of that the whole time. I was trying to figure out when exactly did all of this happen. 1979. So she had been in office when the movie came out. I suppose when the movie was filming, I don't know, her run from being a regular minister in the parliament to becoming the prime minister in their general election or whatever, however it works, probably definitely influenced. And with the way films are scheduled, probably maybe there were some rewrites or like, oh, this is what what is the conservative, the Tories, is it, no, not the Tories, the what is the party called?
No, the Tories.
Yeah, the Tory. Okay. Sorry, I'm thinking of American Tories, which have disappeared. But yeah, the Tories, whatever their rhetoric at the time, probably about privatization, all of these social programs are costing us money and we can't do whatever. And this is all about big money, big investment. I think you're completely right that this is definitely like, given the way the movie goes, an extremely scathing examination of that kind of mindset. Anyway,
But also, like they say Harold like kind of rose up from the gutter. Yeah. So like it's because of Margaret Thatcher and those policies that people were kind of in the gutter. That we would find out later. So like that's interesting. And then like what it's saying about like who is allowed to rise up. Like many of the people who are in this movie are like in positions of power. Like the police are corrupt. There's a businessman. There's the corrupt Harold and whatnot. A criminal kingpin, a straight up thug because he just kills people. Like he proclaims to be a good guy and compassionate, but deep down he's just a bulldog, a pit bull, as people on Letterboxd have said.
Yeah, definitely. He's like barely in control of his temper at any point. At any point. I saw somebody I watched it on YouTube, and I saw somebody say he's like Tony Soprano, or Tony Soprano is like him, like ready to explode at any moment. And I guess it makes sense. I mean, to be in that life and to rise that high, you have to be that kind of like detached from human emotion. Even though he tries to show some semblance of human emotion throughout the movie. How did you feel about Harold as a person?
Harold,
the criminal, the boss.
The boss.
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah.
There's another movie called 教父, but I don't know the 教父.
I don't know.
It's also about the gang leader. I feel like he likes him. Like 教父.
Oh, The Godfather.
Oh, there's a movie?
Yeah. Which one? Michael Corleone? Oh, Vito Corleone. Sure. You feel he's like him?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to say?
And he was very funny. He was very interesting.
He had a lot of really good insults.
Yeah.
I didn't write down exactly what he said. It's at the end, which we can get to.
He has a big passion.
Big what?
Passion? Passion. 不是 Passion.
What do you mean?
就是 I want to do something. I must be successful.
Oh, like he has no patience.
Huh?
He has no patience.
He has no patience.
None.
Huh?
Oh, he's passionate.
Oh, passionate.
Yeah. He has great ambition.
Ambition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite thing that he said was to the Americans at the end, which was like the lawyer was trying to talk to him, and then he was like, I forget exactly how he said it, but it was like, "Shut up, you frozen, shut up, you frozen stream of piss," or something like that. Anyway, he's trying to set up the deal. Things are going wrong. He tries to bring the Americans to a bar, and also simultaneously trying to figure out, bring Parky to me. Let's talk to him, see if he can find out anything. Sending all his goons out to find any information they can, but nobody can. He's starting to think, because there's been 10 years of peace among the London gangs, it could be them. Somebody's breaking the peace at an inopportune time. And then as they're
what do you want to say? He investigates like a person named Errol who can't tell him really anything. He has a bunch of the gang leaders kind of strung up in a meat packing plant, which there's an interesting shot where you see like them kind of being strung on the line, and it's upside down, and you can see Harold like watching them there, and then he also like talks to a mechanic, I think from a black gang. And he tries to end up killing that man. And they're all like, hey, we don't know anything. There are rumors, but, we don't have any information. And Harold can't believe that. But it's at that point, Parky, who is a corrupt police officer, who's basically kind of helping Harold, reveals, you better stop investigating this, or you better stop looking into this. It's the IRA. Which, for those who don't know, again out there, the IRA, the Irish Republican Army, was a gang, a liberation force, a freedom fighting force. It depends on who you ask. Basically, they were a force who did not like British presence in Ireland. And during the 1900s, basically, they fought with the British, who controlled Northern Ireland, because those people were more Protestant, less Catholic than the Irish, and so there was a sort of separation. And this has remained in place even into the present day. And so the Irish Republican Army, the IRA, would basically fight against the British and do acts of terrorism. In Belfast and in the United Kingdom, blowing up subways and doing things like that, injuring people, hurting people. And in this movie, the context is Harold. We don't find out why the IRA is after him, but Harold is now coming against this new and uprising force. It's someone he's not dealt with before, because he's managed to stay out of Ireland, but now he has to take him on. And it's interesting. Like, Harold is the king. You come at the king, you best not miss. Like, he's never had any real threats. Like, he maybe 10 years previously he might have, but now he's like, he thinks he's untouchable, essentially. Basic thugonomics. So that's the threat of this movie now. And Harold must deal with these people.
Yeah, I think we also see this feeling of untouchability from him when he hits Helen Mirren, when she's told after the bar has an explosion to give Harold time and entertain them at a restaurant. And at that point, the Americans ask for what's really going on, not some make-believe. They really want to know, otherwise they're going to go and pull out. And she has to tell the truth. Interestingly, we can get to it later, the councilman who is running his mouth at this dinner that that Harold never makes it to because he's wrangling up everybody and hanging them upside down in the meat locker and investigating the IRA and Errol and everybody else. At that point, the councilman says something about, like, you got it all wrong. Jeff is the one who's trouble. Something like that, which we'll get to later. This is a major plot point. But then when Harold finds out, Vicky or Victoria told them not completely what's really going on, but all the things they need to know, that maybe this is, we're being attacked, but it's no big deal. We'll deal with it. He like freaks out and hits her. And then he acts like, huh? What's gotten over me? It's like that's just who you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not a good guy.
Yeah, Jeff gets not Jeff, but the counselor gets crucified, which this is called the Long Good Friday, taking place on Good Friday and a couple days afterwards. So the religious sort of symbolism there, you see a little bit of that. But it's at this point, that Harold is starting to realize that Jeff is hiding something, and he goes and questions him and is like, what? Like, he also learns from one of the dead, the widow of the dead person earlier. She says that like Jeff sent her husband to Belfast to make a deal. And so Harold is kind of putting things together, questions Jeff, and Jeff reveals that he was trying to make a deal while Harold was away. Sent him to Belfast, and they ran afoul of the IRA. So it's sort of Jeff's fault. And at that point, in a really interesting moment, Harold gets very violent and just kills Jeff. He's like, "What have you done to me? You created this giant mess." Yeah. He comes off the boat with blood on him, and it's just like the expression on his face. You see a lot of good acting by Bob Hoskins here. So yeah, what did you think of that scene in particular?
What did you think of when he killed the Jeff on the boat?
Actually, I don't know why he need to kill him, because he felt Ta lied to him.
Yeah.
As a game leader, honesty is the most important. They're bad guys, but as a game leader, it's like a company. The most important culture is honest to me.
Be honest to the boss, nobody else.
Yeah, but it seems like everybody lied to him.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Only his wife.
Yeah, Victoria.
Is honest to him.
Yeah. I think for me, it was like hurting my brain when I was realizing, wait a second, now I know what all those things were at the beginning, but I didn't really catch their names. So I was trying to figure out, like, who's Colin, even though his death has been a major plot point. And then this is where the IRA gets introduced more, but the explanation for why the IRA is involved, I was like, this is when I knew, okay, this movie is on another level, and it is really, really good. And like, they were really going for something here, all the people involved. So for me, this part really sold the movie.
I do remember something.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, I was just saying, I do think this is also a very slow burn movie, because not a lot really happens. Like, it goes from scene to scene, and it's all building up towards something. And I was like, this doesn't really feel all that great. And then you get to the final third where everything kind of comes together. And I think that's where it really shines. If you can make it through the slow burn, which I know a lot of people might not be able to, it really works, I think.
For sure. This is also like the reason he kills Jeff is because Jeff says, there's nothing you can do. You're like shit on the bottom of their shoe. And that just triggers his ego and the pit bull inside of him. and that's when he kills him. And then he just vows revenge. And we see them go to a derby, I think. A race car derby, where he seemingly is there to make amends because the IRA was getting revenge, and he feels like, I'll be the one to get revenge. He comes with 60,000 pounds cash in a suitcase with Shavers, or what's his name? The guy with the scar. I think it's Shavers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It was one of those unintelligible things that Bob Hoskins said. This movie almost convinced me that British people are real.
Yeah.
Anyway, but what was interesting is like I guess the second in command, he's in a special I forget what those boxes are called, but he's in a box by himself. I forget what those are called at a sporting event. But he's eating a really nice dinner, has some champagne and this kind of stuff. Harold gets to go in.
Yeah, it's like a luxury box.
Oh, thank you, luxury box. And I've got 60,000 pounds in cash to make amends, or whatever he says. But the boss is driving in the derby and seems to have won. And when Harold is like walking back and forth, you see that there's a sniper who is aiming at Harold already, but isn't able to get a clear shot that wouldn't hurt the others in the luxury box. Which I guess, is just trying to show like how serious and organized the IRA was. Because I don't know if this is the middle of the Troubles or the beginning, but they'd been around for a while by this point, I believe. And especially during Thatcher, really ramped up. Anyway, it seemed like the deal is going to go smoothly when the IRA leader guy comes in, and then they started blasting.
So anyway, I started blasting. Yeah, no, this is an interesting part because Harold could just end it here. Like he could win. Like he could get what he wants. Like maybe the IRA might come back later, but I doubt it. They have bigger fish to fry. But
I continue with what you want to say.
And I was going to say, like, he could win, but his ego and his pride won't let him just simply walk away from this. He has to be the victor. Except with the IRA, there is no victor because the IRA will continue to grow. They'll continue to have martyrs. They'll continue to recruit like any other terrorist organization. They'll come back for you. They'll get their own in the end.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like with Harold, is that he is a very strong British nationalist. We get a very clear picture of that from a couple of things that he says. He does kind of give that, of course, the speech with like London is going to be the city of the future. London is going to be the capital of Europe. This kind of thing. Of course, later he like dogs on the Americans for their lack of vision. He's more willing to work with the Germans, and he really just praises the UK for its history and what it's brought to the world constantly. So the IRA is like, how do you say that? Anathema to him? Anathema. How do you say that? Anathema, right?
Yeah, I know the word I'm anathema.
Anathema. Thank you. Maybe. However you say it. I know what the meaning. Anathema. Or yeah. Anyway, so the IRA is already like completely opposed to his values, which are crooked and twisted in the first place. But on top of that, they would probably like, because it was like an ongoing thing with, was it Colin? Was that his name? That Colin was going to have to be the one to keep making payments, which was also extremely upsetting because of his like British national pride. But also it's just like another payment you have to put out. Like when he meets Mrs. Benson, he's pretty willing to give the money, but in the graveyard he meets Mrs. Benson, the widow of somebody who got killed. But he just seems to be like, fine, okay, yeah, you'll get your 100 quid a week, and buy a headstone, send me the bill. Just like, he never says it, but the way he acts in that scene is just like, just stop fucking crying.
Yeah.
Don't make it my problem. I'll take care of it to be like a respectable gentleman or whatever. But anyway, I think this is like another aspect of like, I don't want to keep paying for this thing that I don't want. And also they're going to be ruining my country. This kind of thing. That's how I felt. That's why I don't think it could have ever happened. And also the IRA could have just blasted him right after he walked out, possibly.
Yeah.
So who knows? He could have ended it. You're right. Maybe that's what would have happened. Or they would have been like, give us more, fund us more. And it's totally opposed to his own politics. And if he is going to be a straight businessman, like a proper gentleman of class and wealth in downtown London, funding the IRA.
Yeah, he's on the hook for terrorism now, for funding terrorism.
Yeah, so I feel like he had no choice but to do this, and it was the worst possible thing he could have done.
Mm-hmm. It's a pretty interesting scene because they start blasting, someone falls out the window onto a car, and then the cars crash and blow up, and he's caused an even bigger problem than if he had simply just walked away. And he goes to meet the mafia next day, and he's like, ha ha ha, I figured everything out. Everything's good. And the mafia are like, we're leaving, buddy. You did a St. Valentine's Day massacre, and we don't want to be seen with you now. This is a liability, and we're not really comfortable doing a business anymore. We're
respectable businessmen.
Yeah. And you're right. He that's where he goes on like how like the British have pride and they're going to work with the Germans, which we never see any Germans in this. So I'm left to believe he was just blustering. Like he's mostly a blustering kind of guy, and that might have gotten him this far, but it might not get him to where he wants to be.
Yeah, I think also at this time, I don't know how Germany was doing at the time, but it was not united yet. So certainly there would have been wealthy Germans or whatever, but I feel like, yeah, he's blustering. Like there would have been too many other issues to deal with and to try to even get German investment of any kind. He came in the car with Vicky and his thugs. He does this thing to get his ride. Doesn't even think twice about nobody else being in the car, gets in, and it turns out this is not the car he came in.
Oh no. Yeah, like the car just drives off. He sees Vicky going in the opposite direction, being kidnapped by the IRA, and then he might want to attack the driver, but guess who's there? It's Pierce Brosnan again, pointing a gun at Harold, implying this is his final ride, his last ride. He's the Undertaker. He's he's going to die, and the camera just focuses on both Pierce Brosnan's smoldering gaze and Harold as he sort of goes through a wide variety of emotions in this final car ride. I think kind of angry and wanting to do more, but ultimately I think he's accepting what's happening. He's like, yeah, I've been got. I did not think through what I was doing, and now everything's come back to bite me in the ass.
Yeah, I think he went through what is that? DABDA or whatever? Denial, anger, bargaining, I forget, acceptance. Oh, depression, acceptance. Yeah, I think that was very, like, to me, that was incredible acting to see him go through all those emotions and other ones. Like, is there a way I can weasel my way out of this one? And then he accepts it, and then you get Pierce Brosnan's smoldering gaze. How did you feel about his acting at the end when you see his face? He got in the wrong car.
He like, I will win. I'm still like he still want to win. But I'm curious. I was curious. Or he live, or he must be dying.
What do you think?
Maybe he has opportunity to.
He's got money. Yeah, maybe he could live, but he's got to fund the IRA. I don't think he'll live, but he does have money. He's already like a criminal, so maybe if he wants a chance to live, he's got to fund the IRA.
Maybe. I do think his pride would not allow him to do that, because he wants to be on top. And if the IRA are controlling him or forcing him to give kickbacks, that means he's not getting that. And I guess if he's smart enough, he'll do that to live. But we've seen he's very impulsive, and I don't think he's going to make it. But that is a good point.
Yeah, there is potential. I also agree. I think his pride and his personal pride and his national pride make it an impossibility. He's gonna die. But they could have, strangled him or something in the car. They're just holding him at gunpoint. We don't know for sure. Open-ended, but probably he's gonna die. Any other thoughts about the movie?
I need to watch it again and researching some history about this time.
Sure.
But this is a good movie.
Good movie.
But who chose this movie to watch? Sebastian?
Yeah.
Oh, every time Sebastian choose movie. Oh, why not you?
You liked the movie we watched last time.
You chose the movie last time?
Yeah.
Oh.
But he chose the Iranian movie.
Oh.
We just always choose good movies.
Oh.
Any other thoughts that you have?
That's high praise, by the way. No, I really enjoyed this. It is a slow burn, as I've said before. I was really thinking I might have made a bad choice, but ultimately it kind of pulls together and is definitely worth a rewatch. Also, the soundtrack is kind of bizarre. It's very jazzy. Feels like it doesn't belong in the genre, but it's still, I think it still works in the end.
Yeah, it's also not techno, but like house music-y, because there's these like eerie pulses for the music. I don't know how to describe it. Like every time you see the bomb from the casino, there's this, I don't know what instrument it is. I think it's a synthesizer. But it sounds like this weird, like spatial, I don't know how to describe it, but it sounds like a strange pulse. The sound design was very interesting. There's this jazzy element and this not house music, but just electronic, weird pulse, whatever going on. I felt it felt weird, not really out of place, but I felt somehow it added to the movie, even though it felt like that doesn't sound right in my mind.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it.
I'd have to see other British movies in the 80s to really know for sure.
Sure.
I like his wife. I like his wife.
Victoria.
Victoria.
Very beautiful.
Very beautiful. And one guy there on the gift, this guy said, I want to link
every inch of you.
And she just say good night.
Well, you know, he was just saying what we were all thinking. So
how do you think about it?
I just said Jeff said what everybody was thinking.
Uh-huh.
I want to lick every inch of you. You know, one thing that not related to the movie exactly, but just about Pierce Brosnan, I was thinking to myself, like, I know when Daniel Craig became James Bond, there was some controversy about is he the right fit? But I wonder if when Pierce Brosnan became James Bond, if there was a negative reaction because he's not British. I don't know if he's from Northern Ireland. I know he's Irish.
Well, I mean, Sean Connery was Scottish.
That's part of the UK, right?
I know.
That's not like if he's from Northern Ireland, probably nobody would have thought anything. But I think he's from the Republic of Ireland, and you know, just like a lot of people, we've gotten very off topic. Sorry, but that was something that I was thinking about. Is like maybe there, especially because it was just after the Troubles, so there might have still been some hostility or more hostility toward Irish. And I don't know if you've seen what British people were publishing even in the early 20th century about the Irish, but they basically saw them like monkeys. And I don't know. I just had that thought. I can look it up later. But I don't know if that came to your mind, seeing him in the IRA, but it came into my mind.
I didn't even think about it. I thought, and it makes sense that they would actually cast an Irish person as an IRA member, but I had thought that Pierce was actually British this whole time.
He might be Irish and British. I'm not sure. Or maybe he's from Northern Ireland. I don't know. I can look it up later.
Yeah, I'll look it up later. Yeah.
Anyway, I guess that leaves us with one very important question, the most important question of all, the one, the only, which character did you relate to most? He is Irish, by the way. He is from the Republic of Ireland. I will find out later if he was a controversial choice.
Yeah, so the character that I identify with most is probably Harold. Thinking that I'm untouchable and quickly realizing I'm not, or maybe Jeff, because you know he means well, but he ends up causing a horrible dilemma to happen that affects the entire organization, and I've been there before. So, what about you two?
Which 什么角色？
我最喜欢 The Game Later.
No, not which one do you like the most? 什么角色有你的性格？
我的性格
Like the closest to. 最近的。
最近的。
Yeah, the closest. For me, it's also Harold because I am a very angry person. At a moment's notice, I will just flip out. Usually not at people like he does. Like only if it's like someone, like I never get really angry at someone I just met. Only like rich, powerful people who do terrible things. But usually it's like, oh, my pen stopped working. You fucking bastard! I hate this stupid shit. So I'm ready to fly off the handle like Harold at any moment. But unlike Harold, my rage is very short lived. Just fuck off. Okay, I'm better now.
Yeah, I've been a victim of your rages before.
Yes.
Oh, maybe his wife?
Because you're beautiful too.
No, because I think she always think, okay, how to solve the problem.
Yeah, I agree. I think she runs things. I think Harold is the beneficiary of a much smarter woman.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
How do you feel?
Yeah. Yes, I agree. And so, do you remember the first things I said, the culture, the 什么说这个黑帮的 culture?
The gang culture.
The gang culture is like listen to me, like I'm the boss.
Yeah.
Then it reminds me that was just like the army culture.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's why he fits so perfectly into the gang. Listen to the leader.
Yeah. And there's the things that Sebastian had said. Sebastian had said, like, when the boss asked, did something strange happen recently?
Yeah.
So everybody said, no, nothing, just as usual. And he was very angry, and I was so confused why it definitely have some strange things happened. Why, like his brother, or said nothing, just as usual, and their face looks very calm down, and they looks relaxed, and nobody like angry as him, nobody like as nervous as him. Well, I don't know why.
I think it's like Harold is like the dad, and if you ever mess up, like if you accidentally break something, you don't want your dad to know about that. You want to hide it. You want to be like, oh no, nothing's bad, because your dad will be angry.
Yeah. I also think it's a cutthroat world that they live in, the underworld. They kill people. If you have caused a huge problem, we saw what happened to Jeff. He was part of causing a huge problem, and he lied about it. If he didn't lie about it, probably he would still be alive. But because he lied about it, Harold lost his mind.
Oh, yeah. And then there's the things like the guy take the money in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
The guy is Carol, no, the boss' close friend.
Yeah.
But he still lied to him.
Yeah.
If he didn't die, he didn't be killed. I think the boss will kill him.
No, if he didn't steal the money in the first place, the boss would have never had this problem.
Yeah.
But the IRA was mad that he didn't bring the money that was promised, because he thought, okay, close enough, I'll take some money for myself. So if he just gave all the money, they would have never had a problem, and he would have never been killed.
Yeah.
And the boss would never find out.
And why he take the money so like natural? It was.
He's a criminal. Oh yeah, there's £100,000 here, or 60,000, or whatever it is. 5,000 they won't notice 5,000. It's mine now. Live a good life, happy life. And that's why my movie for next month. Next time we should decide what movie together.
Okay. Or we can let Verity pick a movie next time.
Yeah, we could do that too. Do you have a movie you want to watch?
Have you watched the Chinese movie together?
Yeah, we have. I want to watch an Australian movie, because I think that's the only continent other than Antarctica that we haven't watched a movie from, Oceania. And we are going to watch a movie called Walkabout, which I watched a long time ago. And it is about a man who takes his young children out into the desert in Australia, ready to shoot and kill them, and then something goes horribly wrong. If something could go horribly wrong, something does go horribly wrong when you've already planned.
Yeah, so you're picking an Australian movie. Why didn't you just pick Crocodile Dundee? No. Walkabout sounds good. I'll find that. But yeah, we've come to the end of the video. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Subscribe to Lucas's channel or Verity's channel if she ever creates a YouTube channel. Hopefully next time Verity will have a movie for us to watch in the future. But other than that, like, share, subscribe. But have a good time in your movie watching travels. Farewell.
Farewell.